pat yourself on the back for making it to day 3. Not everybody makes it to day 3 in these challenges. So many people don't do what they say they're going to do, but not you. You committed and you showed up. And for that, you should give yourself a huge pat on the back and reward yourself, because showing up is half the battle. And that's what it takes to be a successful artpreneur. We're going to talk a lot about that today. What does it take? And so we're going to recap first, as I promised, what we've learned so far. So on day 1, we talked about what not to do, and we wrote our manifestos. And if you missed out on that, we have the binge watch page. We have the worksheet for the manifesto. Don't get it now. You can do it later if you want to. On day 2, we talked about the 5 Ps, and we built your personal artist profit plan. Again, that worksheet and the recording all on the binge watch page. So I want to hear from you. I'm going to go open the chat. What were your aha moments from day 1, the manifesto, or from day 2, the artist profit plan? Email list, showing up as part of successful sales. I have a few things to work on, says July. Believing yourself, pricing. Ooh, lots of takeaways. Awesome. I am so excited. Okay, beautiful. And then here's a recap of the 5 foundations. Anybody who missed that on day 2, we're going to just talk about it very briefly again. So the 5 foundations are the production plan, the prospecting plan, the pricing plan, the promotion plan, and the productivity plan. Today, we're talking about how to think like an abundant artist. So here's the game plan for today. I will be turning the video off. So once I turn it off, don't complain that you can't see me. I always like to have it on for a little while just so that you guys know that I'm live and I'm here with you. So here's the game plan for today. We're going to talk about the belief triad, the 5 success secrets of every thriving artist, and of course, how to work with me. And don't worry, there'll be time for Q&A at the end. Now, I do want to connect with you. I've been connecting with so many people over on Instagram. That's what Instagram is for. It's for a connection. And I've received hundreds of DMs. And thank you, each and every one of you. Today, your word to let me know that you're watching on day 3 is commit. So if you have your phone out, you can do this now. If you don't go grab it. Just write this instruction down. You can always do this after the call, but I want you to DM me the word commit, because remember we said today is all about commitment, and you showed up today. I am so proud of you. You made it to day 3. You committed, and that is what it takes to be successful. So to let me know you're watching, you can DM me that word. I am reading every single one of your comments, even if I don't respond to all of them. So, and I'm at Schulman Art over there, SCH. Now, I told you to take out your phone. Please put it away. If you're not watching on your phone, silence your phone, put it away. I would even say take the extra step and close your door. I had to close my door because my husband's working from home today because he didn't want to leave the house because of the air quality. Those who were here early, New York. I'm in New York. The air quality is horrible. My lungs are irritated. I heard from my assistant, Anna, that there's brush fires in New Jersey. So the whole Northeast is like a smog smoke cloud. It's really sad. But anyway, so I shut my door. You shut your door. If you're on your laptop or your desktop, close all the extra tabs. You deserve this time for yourself. You want to focus and get the most out of our time together. Now, don't forget, we're also picking 2 winners at the end of today for that in-person VIP experience. That's happening on August 3rd. You'll be joining the 2 winners from the last bootcamp that I did, and there may be a few other people with us as well. But it's the exclusive experience all day with me, learning about you're working on your business, and we'll go out to dinner, and you'll get tickets to see George O'Keeffe, all kinds of fun stuff. So be fully engaged today to be eligible. Okay, and there's my friend Bethany, every man for themselves. And now I just want to know, are you ready to get started? Okay. Yes. Yeah. Everyone is eligible who is here with us today. Okay. Ready to get started? All right. Let's talk first about the belief triad. This is something I talk about in Artpreneur, and I've never heard anyone talk about this before. So obviously we've heard from a lot of people, self-development people, you must believe in your art. You must love your art. So that's one part of the belief triad. The second part is you must believe in yourself and call yourself an artist. It's not your side hustle. It's not your jobby. Call yourself an artist and believe in it. And the third part is you must believe in your buyer. You must believe in your art collector. You must believe in your customer, your client. And there's so many times when we self-sabotage because we think thoughts like, I don't think she'll pay for that, or nobody buys art in my town. So we think we're not doing that, but a lot of us do that. If you're struggling to make a full-time living as an artpreneur, it's because you have limiting beliefs in one or more of these three areas. If you don't believe in your talent, that means you lack belief in your art. That's one part of the belief triad. Like when you don't think your art is good enough. If you don't believe in your ability to sell or market your art, that's a lack of belief in yourself. And if you don't believe in your ability to make a living pursuing your art, that's a lack of belief in your customer. But besides doing affirmations, what can you do to build your confidence? All right. So that's why we're doing secret number one. And this is when you can start taking your notes. Hopefully you have a pen and paper ready. I'm going to be dropping knowledge bombs. All right. So let me tell you about Margaret. Real person, not her real name. So Margaret came to work with me. But before we get there, I'm supposed to tell you the story. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I should have practiced these slides again. All right, let me tell you about Margaret. So Margaret is somebody who came to work with me, and she was having trouble with procrastinating. She told me that she was putting things off. She wasn't doing what she knew that she should do. And I asked her, why do you think that is? And she says, well, I think I procrastinate because I lack confidence. And I told her, no, it's the other way around. You lack confidence because you procrastinate. So let me share with you the definition of confidence. The definition of confidence is full trust, belief in the powers, trustworthiness, or reliability of a person or a thing. That's the definition. So every time you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're acting in an untrustworthy way. Every time you don't do what you say you're going to do, you're eroding your confidence. Following through with your commitments builds confidence because it's the opposite. Every time you do what you say you're going to do, you build your confidence. That's why I said, congratulate yourself for showing up today, for committing. Following through with your commitments builds confidence, which ultimately results in self-trust. If you lack confidence, it's because you're not following through on your commitments. But that's not all. So what else works? That's where we come to secret number two. Let me just take a quick sip and you can catch up. And let this sink in while I sip. Okay, secret number two, surrounding yourself with the right people. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You spend a lot of time with people complaining. By the way, you know what a complaint really is? It's a negative affirmation. It really is. It's a negative affirmation. You think you're just observing and telling the truth, but really you're affirming the negative, and the universe is listening. So when you don't hang out with other artists, it's very easy to give up on your dreams. In fact, I would say if you don't hang out with other artists who believe in themselves, it's easy to give up on your dreams. That's why when I do art shows, I don't like to hang out with the negative Nellies. There's always those people at the art shows and they wander around. Are you making sales? What about you? Well, I don't think so. And there's there's no traffic here and blah, blah, blah. I don't pay any attention to them. I talk to everybody who comes into my booth and I make sales because I'm not thinking that way. Now, throughout art history, successful artists all have this one thing in common. Let me share with you some pictures. They all had artist friends. So here is Joan Mitchell, Grace Hartigan, and Helen Frankenthaler. And they were also hanging out with Elaine de Kooning, Bill de Kooning, Jackson Pollock. I mean, they were a clique. They hung out together. Of course, they were getting drunk and sleeping with each other too, but that's a different story. Here is John Basquiat and Andy Warhol hanging out. Here's me hanging out with my artist incubator clients and my artist friends in an art gallery. So yeah, one of the most powerful things that successful people do that unsuccessful people don't is that they invest in their relationships. And we talked about that a lot in day 1 and day 2. That's why I told you that the email marketing builds that nurturing, builds that relationship. So you're building relationships with your collectors and your clients. You're building relationships with other artists. You build relationships with everybody. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. This is what makes the world go round. All right. Secret number 3. Write down your goals. Write down your goals. Research shows that you're 42% more likely to achieve your goals just by writing them down. Why? Because both sides of your brain, your left side, your logical side, your writing side, and the right side of the brain, your thinking or imaginative side, both sides get engaged when you write down your goals. So your whole brain now is going to be working on helping you achieve it. And if you listen to yesterday's podcast, by the way, I talk about that you create the goals with your conscious part of your brain, but you achieve your goals with the non-conscious part of your brain, the other 97% of your brain. So writing it down helps get that goal into your subconscious, into your non-conscious part of your brain that's actually going to do the work. That's why I had you create the artist manifesto on day 1. I got you to write down your goals. I got you to commit to it. And if you haven't done that yet, no worries, not too late. You always can. The physical act of writing gets your brain to pay attention to what will help you achieve your goals. That's why each week inside the Artist Incubator, I ask their members to share their goals with me. Okay, now we're up to secret number 4. I think I'm going too fast. Am I talking too fast? How am I already up to secret number 4? All right, let me just take a quick sip. It's just I get excited when I'm talking about these things. All right, celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. That was something else I talked about on yesterday's podcast. So inside my planner, not only do I write down affirmations and I write down my goals inside my physical planner so I can write it down and see it, but I also write down my wins. I have a wins column, and every week I try to identify wins. Celebrating your wins is extremely powerful exercise. Celebrating progress is the key to achieving any goal. And here's why. Remember, we humans have evolved for survival, not goal achievement. That's why we so easily sabotage ourselves. When we're going to do something to reach a goal that makes us feel uncomfortable, we're going to have fear, because that fear mechanism is about keeping us safe. But our brain hasn't evolved to tell the difference between getting eaten by a tiger and sending out an email that we're afraid isn't going to work or annoys people or whatever it is that your fears that you have around that. So what's going to happen? We have this idea that makes us feel uncomfortable, that causes us to feel fear. And then our brain's going to come up with all kinds of reasons why this is a terrible idea and why this won't work for us. And the smarter you are and the more creative you are, the better you'll be at coming up with these stories about why it's a bad idea. Why? Because you've evolved for survival, not goal achievement. So you have fear that leads to doubts. Notice I didn't say excuses. It doesn't feel like an excuse. It feels real to you. It feels real. And then what's going to happen? If you believe those stories you're telling yourself, you're going to either not take the actions you need to, or you're going to take actions that are going to sabotage yourself, or you're going to do procrastinating. You're going to go into research mode to try to figure it all out because you don't want to fail, which is going to cause procrastination, that procrastinating mode. And ultimately, that's going to lead to guilt and shame because you didn't achieve what you said you were going to do. So this is why we're more likely to focus on the negative, because our brain has evolved for survival. We want to keep us safe. But when you focus on the positive, that's how you stay motivated. That's why it's so important to focus on what is working and to write it down and imprint the wins and to pay attention to that. And yes, of course, incubator members share the wins every week. So we have an accountability system where every Monday we ask you to write down what your 3 goals are for the week. And then every Friday we ask you to share your wins. And I consider doing what you say you're going to do a win. That's why today I celebrated everybody who showed up here today. You did what you're saying you're going to do. You showed up. That deserves celebration. Okay, so now we're up to secret number 5. Invest in your dreams. Invest in your dreams. So actually, before we get there, I just want to talk about myself. I do this too all the time. I invest in my dreams. When I wanted to write a book, I hired a book coach. Even for this launch here, my dream was to help 50 more artists through my incubator program. So I had to invest in Facebook ads to let you guys know that I was having this free boot camp and let you know. So, and we invested time in it. So you invest time and you invest money, but you believe in that ultimate outcome. Now, that's why I want you to meet Priya Gore. And I did mention her yesterday and the day before. She is an artist from Australia. She does wildlife paintings of birds. When Priya joined the incubator, she was doing well, but she had big dreams. She wanted to raise her prices and she wanted to join art galleries, but she knew she needed help. Inside the incubator, she gained clarity, focus, and commitment. She joined 2 galleries off of her dream list, and she raised her prices. And now she's a full-time thriving artist. She was willing to invest in her dreams. So before we get to that, I just want to share a little bit more about her. So when she first came to me, she was selling about 1 painting a month, sometimes 2, at around $4,000 to $5,000. So she was making like $50,000 a year. And after working with me and through the course of working with me, we talked about raising her prices to $7,000 and then $9,000. And so now she spends most of her time painting, because at $7,000 to $9,000, if she sells 1 or 2 paintings a year, she makes a 6-figure salary. And this is without online art classes. I get asked that a lot. Oh, Miriam, is it necessary to do online classes? Is it necessary to have a membership? Is it necessary to coach other artists? Absolutely not. I have so many examples of artists who do not have all that extra thing. They're just focusing on their art and making a full-time thriving living. Priya is one of them. Okay, so let's recap the 5 secrets. Commit to following through, surrounding yourself with other artists, writing down your goals, celebrating your wins, and investing in your dreams. Can write all that down. Just leave it up for just 1 more minute if you want to write that down. Okay. So now I want to add a bonus ingredient. Can you guess what it is? Share it in the chat. Okay. Confidence. Have fun. Let's see. Charisma, determination, just do it, network, persistence, belief. Okay. Somebody did guess it. So I'm going to move ahead, and it is invest in a coach. This is the one thing that separates those on the struggle bus and others who are soaring. So let me give you a metaphor. If you wanted to go for a walk on a beach or around your neighborhood, you wouldn't need a guide, right? But what if you wanted to go hiking? Maybe. What if you wanted to go rock climbing? By the way, you would never see me do this. I am just like, no way. My fear-based brain says, hell no. But you'd be a fool not to have a guide if you did want to do this. So the economy we're living in now is like rock climbing. You absolutely need a coach if you want to survive, especially if you want to enjoy the experience. Now, you might be thinking, I've got this and I can do it on my own. And if that's you, I applaud you. However, what often stands in the way of struggling artists are emotional triggers such as doubt and fear about what you need to do. If you aren't sure what to do next, then you'll probably end up doing nothing, or worse, spending your time spinning, doing the wrong things. We talked so much over the last 3 days about what you need to do. And when you get a coach, you learn exactly how to apply it. Successful people, no matter what they're trying to do, know they will get there faster with an expert guide who has walked the path they want to travel. So you may be good, you may even be better than everyone else, but without a coach, you'll never be as good as you could be. Now, if the greatest athletes in the world have coaches, why shouldn't we? And by the way, this is from the Netflix series Cheer. They've won a crazy number of championships with this coach. That's why I shared that slide. It's a pretty good series too. However, the point is, whether it's me or someone else, get yourself a coach.